Hey, what's up guys, it's Texumer talking to you here, and yesterday Apple announced the M1X launch event. It will happen on Monday. Sorry, I was telling you that it will happen on Tuesday, but it will happen on a Monday 18th, probably because of the Google event. But I'm not here to talk about again the confirmation from Apple, but from a leak that came out right after the event confirmation from Ross Young. I believe that Ross Young was waiting for Apple to confirm this event so they could release this information, and in my opinion it's a big one. As you know, Apple is rumored to have mini LED displays on the new MacBook Pros, but Ross Young not other just confirmed that, but also said that they could be, or they will be, 120 Hz. And if that ends up being right, oh my god, I'm so excited. So before I get into this theme and why it's important to have 120 Hz on a Mac, roll the intro. So 120 Hz on a Mac, who would have thought that Apple in one single year would tackle the one big problem that I have with Apple displays, the refresh rate. So Apple, firstly in 2017, introduced ProMotion on the iPad Pro, and the first time I saw it, I was in love. I love the promotion since day one, and now that I have a 2018 iPad Pro for almost 2 years, I can tell you that I've used it every single day of my life since then, and I'm very excited because now that I got the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I almost have an ecosystem of 120 Hz. Missing is my MacBook Pro, which in my opinion it's 60 Hz still, and it looks choppy, although macOS has, I have to agree with some people that say macOS doesn't need 120 Hz. Maybe yes, maybe not. It doesn't have as much animations, but it does have scrolling on the web. It has have scrolling when editing videos, and there's a lot of very fast-paced movements on macOS too, and I think 120 Hz would be incredible. And these M1X MacBook Pros with mini LED not only will have ProMotion displays like the iPad Pro M1, but it will also enable 120 Hz display refresh rates that could very well refresh rate downwards to other refresh rates, just like 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second, which for video editors like me, it's very important because just like you know, this cinematic video that you are watching is at 30 frames per second, but sometimes I record at 60. So it would be nice to have a screen that I can edit videos on, which I can see 60 frames per second video and 30 frames per second video on their real frame rates, and that would be very important for myself. Also, the mini LED displays with 120 Hz would be incredible to edit videos in terms of audio accuracy and edit HDR footage because they are HDR capable. And now that I'm using the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I want to explore more this HDR Dolby Vision content. Tell me in the comments down below if you want to see more Dolby Vision content or do you prefer the normal 4K 60. But I think that the 120 Hz are also important for people that use the web a lot, work on email, or even do a lot of fast-paced movements on macOS. That's why I think that Apple needs to bring 120 Hz just to bring the level of their screens up to par. So now that they have the M1X chip on the MacBook Pros and the mini LED screens, they don't have a lot of work to put a 120 Hz screen there and say that this Mac is a very gaming-focused machine. So now that you want to game on a Mac and some developers start working on it, it would be incredible to see which games could be ported to the macOS system and be playable on the M1X Mac, because the GPU will be just insane, rivaling the 3070X from NVIDIA. And now that we have a very powerful GPU, now that we have a lot of RAM, and now that we have an 120 Hz HDR mini LED display, which will be great for gaming, the only thing that's left is gamer developers to release games for Mac. This gaming point is also strongly supported by the fact that if they release the game for Mac, this game will be instantly available on the iPhone and the iPad if they choose to. So they only have to support one platform to have to support to other mobile platforms like the iPhone and the iPad, which are much bigger in terms of customers and playable players. So I think that in my opinion 120 Hz is not just a gimmick for the Mac, but a very important feature to come. And also, of course, me being a little bit selfish, think about myself, yes, of course, I want 120 Hz on everything, Apple Watch, iPad, iPhone, Mac. I don't want to have to buy an external display that is 120 Hz. I want my mini LED 16-inch screen to be 120 Hz from Apple. And imagine, having ProMotion on everything from the Apple Watch to the macOS system is almost happening. And I couldn't be more excited. So Let's see what will happen. I don't believe that Apple will suddenly release 120 Hz promotion displays on everything, M1X iMac, M1X MacBook Pros, but it's way more likely they will release the M1X MacBook Pros with promotion 120 Hz technology, because now that these MacBook Pros will have the same mini LED screens as the M1 iPad Pro, it will be more easy to produce and cheaper just to use the old M1 iPad Pro's screen, because they will use the same suppliers, LG and Sharp, according to Ross Young, that in his leak talked about the fact that LG and Sharp, the same suppliers that Apple uses for the M1 iPad Pro 2021, will be the suppliers for these M1X mini LED screens. So it will be easier for Apple to introduce promotion display technology and cheap. We are not sure. Ross Young did not 100% confirm that, but it can 100% confirm mini LED happening on these MacBook Pros. And of course, this leak comes together with better I/O redesign and M1X chip, which brings 32 GB of RAM and 32 GPU cores, and I couldn't be more excited with this new design. Also, yesterday, Luke Miani released a video where he released new information talking about the options for the M1X MacBook Pro. These options would be a 16 and 32 GB option, so he confirmed, in his opinion, he's almost 100% sure that we are getting only up to 32 GB of RAM, and both configurations that are happening in the 14-inch and 16-inch will start at 16 GB. So the 32 GB option will be an upgrade. You have to pay for it. In my opinion, around $200 to $400. Then he's not sure about the 32 GPU core being only available on the 16-inch MacBook Pro and not the 14-inch MacBook Pro, or we will have a 32 GPU core option on the 16-inch and no on the 14-inch. So he's not sure about that yet, but he believes that it will start at 512 GB of storage on those two computers, and you have to pay more, 1 TB, 2 TB, 4 TB, and 8 TB, just like it is on the current MacBook Pros. He also believes that the prices will be the same as the current models. So I couldn't be more excited. We have to wait until Monday. Be aware that Apple is probably supply constrained with his MacBook Pro, so if you want a MacBook Pro, grab it fast. I will grab it as fast as possible, and we might see it on the same day as the event, just like last year's M1 computers. If we see it, that event, and we can pre-order it right after the event, we might likely get these computers on the same Friday that week. And if we do, we can expect an unboxing from my part on my channel. If you are excited, subscribe to watch it, and don't forget to leave a like while you're there. Of course, a week after or 2 weeks after, I will try to release my review on the computer. We'll show you and we'll compare it to everything I have, since the A15 on my iPhone 13 Pro Max to the A12X on my iPad Pro 2018, with a lot of performance comparisons. Expect that from me, and I couldn't be more excited again. I want to create this workflow from Final Cut to LumaFusion and have this portable computer powering my whole ecosystem, and I might have to spend a lot of money on it. I'm sure that I will have to spend a lot of money to max out this computer. I will not max out the storage. I will probably buy the 1 TB option, but I will get 32 core GPU and a 32 GB RAM option. But which configuration are you getting? Don't forget to leave it on the comments down below. While you're there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. This was Tech Talking to you here. Bye.